Yes, sir. Today is June 10th. Shout out to everybody who's logged on, man. This is episode 32 of Best Mondays. Today we're talking about all things GameStop, Roaring Kitty. I'm sure everyone's probably heard about the hype. If you didn't hear about it from years ago, it's surging again. There's a lot of news, a lot of hype, a lot of commotion, a lot of drama surrounding GameStop, the stock, all the market, the halts, just everything. There's a lot that it is, and Roaring Kitty is a wild boy. To flip 53K to half a billy. With the possibility of becoming a billionaire. Maybe the first one to ever do it off just like a crazy play like that. So, with that being said, I think that's a good way to kick this thing off. There's a thin line, or go ahead, DG.
No, I was gonna ask, like, are you guys investing in GameStop right now?
Straight into it. Personally, nah, bro. Personally, nah,
Okay.
man. Over time, I tend to at least try to stay away personally from like meme stocks. I will play them short term,
Right.
but I don't invest. Like I'm not into the stock of it. You feel me? For some reason they don't really work out for me, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not one of them ones that turn $50 to 100,000. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't it don't usually work for me like that, man.
The odds are not in your
It's
favor. What about you, Z?
really not.
I'm similar in the sense that I invest short term. I'm definitely not buying shares. If anything, I'll trade options.
Okay.
So I will say I have traded. I traded options last week. I only made like $300 off of it. But what's crazy is if I would have like held that same contract, but and I'm not even talking about just like a couple of days. I'm talking if I would have held that same contract till the end of the day, I would have made like $700 more. So I would have made like $1,000 in one day type thing. So I'm still glad that I won, but it just shows you the like volatility that goes into
Yeah.
that with meme stocks, those types of things. There's just it kind of doesn't. There is no technicality behind it.
Right.
It's just it's purely just a pump,
Right.
and it's very interesting because I think there's a lot of money to be made, but to Pete's point, you definitely have to be really diligent, and you can't go in expecting to just moon all the
Right.
time. You, you pretty much need to know when to bow out. You have to have an exit strategy. I think is a big. So
So,
they have these unrealistic expectations, like, oh, I'm gonna turn $100 into like $5,000. Like there is the possibility. I mean, with things like meme stocks and all the crazy just activity there, but it can be very volatile. So you got to be really diligent. So, like I said, if I do play it, I'll play the short.
right. I mean, I'm invested in it. I mean, it's more like kind of like a fun play for me. I don't.
Yeah,
If you're watching it, don't make sure you don't put your life savings, right? Your 401k. Don't just put everything into GameStop. For me, like last week I put like I said, 3 grand into it. So I'm holding on to it. I'm just gonna ride it out, see how far it's gonna get.
Let's go. Let's go further than that though. Did you have like an exit plan for it, or you just gonna like
I mean, my exit
wait
plan is
till?
just, yeah, I'll just wait to see how much it's gonna go up to. You know, that's my exit plan.
Yeah, so there is no
but
exit, huh? You
but
just
to
wait
that
to
No,
see.
because like I said, it's more for me. It's more like a play, right? Because I don't look at that. I don't look at GameStop as like AMC as like strategic investment, right?
Yeah,
It's more kind of like a gamble,
it is
right?
again.
yeah.
So I feel like
It is. That's the best way
right,
to put it. It's like a gamble.
right. So for me, like just seeing like how the hype went up crazy couple years. I mean, like during the pandemic, right? It went up from like $8 to like $500, right? So I just in seeing how volatile it is recently. So like, I'm just gonna put this amount of money in it and just see how far it goes.
Mhm.
Once it reaches a certain amount that I feel comfortable, then I'm gonna get out. But for now, it's just like I said, it's not options, so I don't have any obligation to sell it because I don't have an
Yeah,
expiration date. So it's just like
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
stock.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
You are playing it different. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So it's kind of like it's almost like a long term gamble
yeah.
Long term
situation.
gamble,
Like
right? Because I don't,
it's-
right? You know what I'm saying? So even though, yeah, it's not something like it's not like a sound investment I'm doing. However, still, it's not as option. It's not as like volatile. Like I have to like sell it right away. I can hold on to it. Maybe it could bounce back, and I can like take my money out of it, or it could go to the moon,
Yeah.
and I can make a lot from it. So, but yeah, I'm kind of like just been playing around. And also, I've been playing options too. Like
Mhm.
a month ago, I made some money off options too on GameStop, like $1,000. So it's like just like put it right back
That's
into it,
what's
buy
up.
Yeah.
some stocks, and just hold on to it. Yeah. So that's kind of like my strategy on that right now.
And to that point, I think it is wise to only invest what you feel comfortable losing. Like
Fact.
whatever it is that you feel comfortable that you can part ways with, just be smart about it. I think a lot of people probably go in with the mentality. And granted, it could work out, it could not work out, right? If anybody's seen the movie Dumb Money, who like literally invested their whole life, walked away with nothing. And then there's other people who like invested their and ended up, going to the
Right.
moon and made crazy money off of it. And so with all that volatility, all I say is just be wise about it. Just invest what you feel comfortable losing, because at the end of the day, DG's a baller. So like,
Yeah.
he can invest. He can
Don't
throw 3K in there like it's nothing.
don't throw a
Yeah, right.
smooth
So,
3Ks and be trying to be DG and
It's still
you
a
know what I'm
lot,
saying?
though. 3K is still a
someone else
lot,
might
so
be
don't get it
3K.
twisted.
It's not ideal for you, boy.
Right.
So
Right.
just be smart. Just know yourself and know your pockets.
Right. I mean, that's what every investment, right? It's a probability of possibility of loss. So every
Yeah.
investment when you go into it, make sure that you invest whatever amount that you invest in that investment, be comfortable losing that amount. There's a
That's
probability
a
that you
fact.
might lose it all, right? So make sure that you're not putting your life savings. It's like if you're saving for a wedding, make sure you don't put your wedding money into your investment because you might need that next year. Always
Yeah, yeah,
put
yeah,
in
yeah,
money
yeah.
that you're comfortable with losing because every investment has risk of losing it every
Yeah.
day. But so
There's something I just want to add to that point too while we're here, man. Is something that I've heard and learned over time is like of course I feel like I'm nowhere to the point where I want to be or but I feel like we're moving towards it. And one thing that I definitely realize is like it takes time to even learn how to invest because you have to learn how to save first.
Facts.
So it kind of like it comes in stages, man. It's almost like you have to learn how to save and then learn, you know, where you want to put those savings. Because I heard somebody say you can never save yourself into wealth. You can
Facts.
only invest yourself into it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's just the point I wanted to add to it, man. Is like I feel like everyone should be investing at some point, you know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be in certain one thing. I'm definitely not a financial advisor, but at some point we should be putting at least a piece of our, everything that
Right.
we get at least. I think when people say pay yourself first, that's what they're talking about is, pay your future self first. Almost just take a little bit of that and put it into something that's your future self will thank you for, man. I
Yep.
think
Facts.
that's important, bro.
No, it is important because, like I said, man, one thing that really got me into investment is this book. I think we talked about it before, The Richest Man in Babylon, right? It talks
Yeah.
about putting like 10% aside, and I think it's important. And also, before you start investment, make sure that at least you pay all your debt, right? You have like credit cards, bills piling up. Don't start investing when you have all those debt that are accruing interest. Make sure you pay that up first, and save some money before you start investment. Yeah, but it doesn't make sense, right? If you don't have a rainy day funds, then now you want to like invest because, like I said, there's a probably and a possibility that whatever you invest is not always guaranteed. Because most of the time when we think of investment, we think it's always guaranteed. There's been so many cases that people will invest and they lose it all, and that's part of it. You just have to learn again
Yep.
and learn from it, and then apply some new strategy and go into it. So my question for you guys, like what's the most amount that you lost, like ever lost in like an investment so far in stocks, options, and
Sheesh. Oh, we going to the numbers, huh?
hmm
Man,
I like the numbers.
yeah,
What are you talking about in
I don't,
play?
I mean, that's a one
yeah,
play. Yeah, one
in
play.
one
Let's do
play.
one play. Yeah, yeah.
I think
Oh,
it's,
it could be over. I
I
mean,
think it's,
whatever.
it might be the same for me and Z, huh? If I'm thinking
Mm-hmm.
of the same one, man.
Yeah.
I really don't like to usually talk about numbers, but this is a rare time. So for the
Right.
all three of y'all that's on here, y'all gonna get a rare a rare story, man. But I was investing into to stock options. You know what I mean? I was finally getting the hang of it, and I was part of this community that called like a stock option play on Amazon, right? And it was basically the initial investment was like $600, right? So I was like, man, that's a big one stock option play for me at the time, right?
Right.
So we did it, right? We flipped 600 to 1500, and then we flipped the 1500 into 7K in 1 week. You know what I'm saying? And that was the fastest I've ever seen my money move ever.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't consider myself a lucky dude. I like that. You know what I mean? That was the fastest in my mind. I was like, okay, now I can make 7K a week. I'm about to damn near quit. You know what I'm saying? I'm setting up plays in my mind like, okay, so 7K times 52 to get the year. I'm out like 350K, 350K. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I thought I was on. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Bro, that next week, I think I got into one play and lost 5,000 of that seven.
Yeah, bro.
I lost like 5,000 of that seven that next week, bro.
And I'll
That was.
to even further take that to even further just like add on to that narrative. The stock that did it was Shopify. I hate Shopify. I'll never trade Shopify ever again in my
Yeah.
I'll trade
Scar
straight
for
up.
life.
Fuck Shopify. That damn stock
I
ruined.
haven't touched it since, bro. I don't
Nah,
think I've touched it since,
nah.
man. I'm still hurt, bro.
Time I see Shopify, I'm like, nah. Whenever I hear that word, I'm just like, it hurts my soul hearing that, man. Because to the same point, we were in the exact same play, made the exact same money, and lost the exact same money. So losing 5K in one go is, especially after you won major.
Right. Right.
That's what
Yeah.
happens oftentimes.
hmm
That's why they say, P always says it. Whenever you win big money like that, just sit your ass down somewhere. Like, like don't
Just sit your ass down from
don't
there,
get
you know?
don't get too confident, because that's exactly what happened. Like you got confident, it was just like, oh yeah, like shit, this was nothing. Bet, like and then what literally the next week you just lose it all. You as quickly as you can win
Right.
bread, you can lose it just as quickly,
Right.
not
Right.
more. So just be mindful of that, because yeah, it hurts, man. Those wins will always feel good, but the losses stick with you longer. Like
Right.
you'll always remember those moments. You'll remember exactly where you were, how much money you lost, what stock it was. Fuck Shopify, and it's just it's hard, man. It's hard out here.
Was it like
And
your
it's
first?
something about the psyche. It's something about the psyche. I just wanted to add that in because that just based off what you were
Right.
saying, Z. It's something about the psyche that's like, for some reason, the wins don't feel as good as the losses feel bad. For some reason, I don't know what that is. It's like you know what I mean? It's like the psyche of it. You know what I mean? Because that 7K felt great, right? But the
Right.
5K felt like it hurt more than the 7K felt good, right?
Right.
Even though we was probably up, still up technically.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But that
2K. Yeah.
that L just felt different than the dub, and it always does.
Mm-hmm.
So I be trying to like just stress to people, be okay with taking them small wins, because it
Right.
don't feel like if you get into like options or just even a stock at all and it goes up $20, you get $20 out to play, or you got a dividend play that gives you $20, it doesn't feel like a lot. But if you walked outside right now and found $20 outside,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes when you just see you know what I mean, you just see it as numbers on the screen, it doesn't feel the same. But you got to be cool with them small wins, bro.
And Marco brings up a good question. Do you think it's an ego thing?
Uh, I personally would say no, though. For me, it's not more of like an ego. It's more of like I would say like a financial thing. Because I'm like, oh, if I can do more of this, right? Like how more? It's like I think something you have like financial goals in mind, and you're not really being careful about like the rates that are associated with mostly options. So you just I don't think it's like for me. I don't think it's ego, right? Because you're like, oh my God, this worked. If I do this again, there's a possibility that it might work. So it's more of like try and error for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you just want to like see how far you can flip your money. I don't think for me, I don't think it's from like an ego standpoint ever.
I don't know if it's necessarily an ego thing. I get what Marco's saying, though, just as far as like with the losses sticking around and like being a little bit more sour than the wins feel good. I don't know if it's necessarily ego, but I think just losses just in general are just something that kind of like stick with you forever.
Right.
And the wins are something. Now, granted, I think it depends on the magnitude of it, right? Like a $5,000 loss compared to like if we had flipped that same $5,000 into like $800,000, that feeling of that high $5,000 loss, but I can't say for sure because I've never come out with an $800,000 win.
Right.
So I've never won on that magnitude either, though. So I honestly don't know. A $7,000 win is cool money, but we know anyone on here knows, and we all know $7,000 isn't money. At least for us, like
Right.
for me, I think that's a huge win, and that's not
Right.
take for granted, but that's not life-changing money for me, kind of thing. Nor is $5,000 like as far as losing $5,000, that's not life-changing money. Like if I were to lose $5,000, it would hurt really bad,
Right.
but like change my life kind of thing. But that like if we were to come up like a crazy amount, like like six figures, like 300K off, that's life-changing money. Like that's not money that can like obviously like settle me down for the rest of life, but like 300K liquid in my bank right now is a huge win, and that's something that's a high that I might just like I might just have to relax and just like go on a vacation. What just happened? If I flip 5K into like 300K, I'd be on a vacation in Barbados or something like that, just chilling, because I'm like I need to like process what just happened.
Right.
And that high would match that loss,
Right.
that at that time, because also this was like several years ago, so like at that time that $5,000 did hurt a lot more than it would now, so
Right.
I think that was a different situation. I don't know if it's necessarily ego, but like I said, for whatever reason, those losses do just stick with you more than the wins do. But like I said, I haven't just won on that magnitude yet.
Right.
Yeah. What about you, DG? I know you didn't take
Oh, bro.
you took some dubs and some L's, man.
I took some L's, man. Like I lost like in option list. Like I said, when it comes to that's why for me I try to like stay away from options, right? Because I know that you can win big and you can just lose it all fast. For
Yeah.
me, the most I lost in options was like $6,000. It was like Alibaba, right?
Mhm.
Because I've been doing some research. I bought in when I believe that this is gonna go up. And then after that, it was like some news in China, bro, and then everything just went down. Like, God damn it, and I tried to like hold on a little bit, and the longer that I hold the option for, it kept going down. So I was like, damn, I just gotta sell. So I sold the option, like, and I was glad that I sold the option because like 2 days after it went further down. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll say 6K was like the most I lost, and once it's just one play, but overall I
In one
took some
play.
losses, bro. Yeah, I took some losses, and I have some wins too, bro. But
Yeah.
one thing I've learned after a while, bro, like once you experience certain losses, you kind of get a little bit used to it in a sense, which is kind of like I don't know, mentally it's bad, right? Because sometimes I'll lose like $1,000 on an option play, and I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just $1,000, but over time, like damn, when I think about it, damn, that's still a lot of money. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
used to like
Yeah.
getting bigger losses, but it doesn't really affect me like when I first started. I
Mhm.
remember when I first started, when I lost like $500, bro, like my day was like, dang, I was upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I had a
Yeah.
rough
It might
day.
change your week, huh?
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what
I
I'm
had a rough
saying?
day, but now
Yeah.
it's like I can still like after like I say I can lose a grand a day, and I was
Mhm.
like, it's
Yeah.
okay. I'll make that back in a couple of weeks. So I think I've gotten used to taking an L and just learning from it.
Yeah.
So it affecting overall mentally. I don't know if that's good or
It's
bad. You
it's a,
know.
It's probably both.
it's a good thing, because I feel like, granted, it does suck to lose, right? But I think those losses help build up your risk tolerance. Like it just helps you build up your tolerance just in general, right? Like,
Right.
losing $500 might have hurt a lot more. Like especially like thinking about us like at like 24,
Oh yeah.
20 years old, a $500 loss. That's like
Yeah.
I'm
That was my
I'm
whole
having
net worth.
I'm, I'm having nightmares about that. I'm having nightmares about that. I'm like, bro, like I can't even sleep. Just it would just bother me so much. But now, after you've gone through so much and have lost and experienced all the ups and downs, I think you just understand that that's just the name of the game.
Right.
Like, you can't win all the time, and
Right.
anyone who understands what it takes to acquire wealth, and obviously going to the lengths, to the extent that most people wouldn't, it requires risk, and
Right.
so you build up your tolerance over time. You start maybe like $5, $10, okay, now I'm invest like $50 and stuff like that, and then as you take these losses, it's like, dang, like that $5,000 loss, it hurts, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It builds up that tolerance so that you just know at the end of the day you got to keep shooting.
Right.
I big thing about investing is, now I'm not saying you should be out here being reckless, or you got to be strategic, but I
Right,
think it definitely helps build up your tolerance, which I think is a good thing.
right.
I
And also, good thing is for
okay.
tax purpose, right? If you say you have a 5K loss, the
Hmm.
following year you can be able to like write that off, right? So even though you're not technically
That's
getting money back,
a gym.
but
That's a gym. Double down
right.
on that, Diamond. Double down on that. Let people know what you can do with a lot with a loss.
So let's say if you invest in right in stocks, options, and you had a loss, let's say five or whatever, 10K, for the next tax year, you're not going to be able to write off that entire loss, but you can take $3,000 off every year
Yes,
Hmm.
until you kind of
sir.
like get that full amount back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of like it's kind of like I'm not going to say like it reward you a little bit, right? Because let's say now I took, for example, I took that 6K loss. When I filed my taxes, I was able to like take the deduction of 3K off my overall taxes,
Hmm.
which kind of helped. But still, I
Mm-hmm.
did take a loss.
Yeah,
I wish that never happened, even though I got a deduction, but that's not money in my pocket.
exactly.
Just overall, my
Yeah,
overall taxable income was a lot lower than what it should have been
Yep.
based on that 3K loss. But that's something too,
that's a
especially when it
That's a
comes to
good.
investment, you can learn
That's a
from.
gym though. I'm glad you said that, man. Because but a lot of people don't know. Like if you take a loss in the stock market, then you can write off that loss,
Yeah,
and it'll go against your
yeah,
what you made. So
like three
that's a
K,
good point.
like three
Up
K.
to
Yeah,
three
let's say you
thousand
take like,
a year.
yeah,
But you can carry it
yeah,
over,
you can
like you
carry it over
said. So if you
for
lost
yeah,
9,000 in one year, for the next 3 years, you
yeah,
could write off 3,000 every
yeah,
year. You know what I mean? So
3,000 every
that's
year.
a bar.
So yeah. But also one thing I've learned though, I noticed I have from friends who lost money in the stock market and they were like, man, I'm done. So
yeah.
they just
Mhm.
pull everything out, sold everything out, and they don't invest no more. And I'm like, damn, bro, you're just gonna
Yeah.
experience one loss and then just make you. I get it sometimes, but I think I just believe that when you first start, because most of the time when we first get into investment, right, most of us are not actually learning about investment. We just like listen to what people are saying. We're not doing our own due diligence or research, right? So we're just buying
Yep.
things that we don't even know nothing about. Because
Nothing
when I
about.
first started, I would just buy a stock. People say buy the stock. I kind of like knew how to read financial statements to like understand like if I'm making sound investment decision. However, I wasn't doing that. I was just buying things before I do the research later.
It's a
Because I
fact.
was so lazy to do the research in the beginning. But over time, I feel like once you familiarize yourself with whatever like company stocks you're trying to buy, it makes sense to like at least do your research and like understand what you're getting into before you just like
That's
go
a
out there
fact.
blindly and just buying investments because it's your money.
Yeah.
You can lose it all.
Yeah.
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 And shout,
Yeah.
like I know you shared the story. We're not gonna say names, obviously, but of your homie who lost like 200K in the
Yeah, in options.
options. That's you want to talk about life change. That's crazy. Losing 200K would definitely leave a sour taste in my mouth.
Right.
I'd be ready to fight everybody. I lost 200K.
200.
I'm, I'm
Boy.
strapped with
It
everybody.
hurts.
I lost
Yeah,
200K.
that's like a scary amount to
Yeah,
lose. Like where
it
you don't
hurt,
know where you
bro.
could be mentally after
Yeah.
that. Like, you know what I mean?
I, I had another friend, bro. He told me he was depressed for like 8 months because he lost. I was like, how much did you like? He didn't disclose the total amount, but he was like,
Yeah.
bro, I was depressed for like 8 months, man, because I lost so much. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it can affect you mentally, man. Depends on how much you lose, especially if you work hard, you have your own life saving, you believe in the stock, and you put everything in there without doing a proper research, until you lose it all. Because it takes time to like accumulate, save up money, and then you just lose it all. Because when it comes to investment, bro, you can lose like 200K in one day. So easy to lose
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
And
you
that's but see,
get in the
and
wrong
that's the
play.
thing. That's the thing I just want to touch on real quick too, is because we're talking a lot about like stock options, right?
Right,
You know what I mean? And that's a lot different for people that don't know.
right,
Buying a stock and options is two different things, and stock options is more of a gamble than buying just the stock. You know what I mean?
right,
If you buy the stock, if you buy one share of Apple, the possibility of it going to zero is possible, but it's very, 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 very small. You know what
right,
I mean? You can look at that as like an investment. I have one share of Apple. You know
right.
what I'm saying? So okay, Marco said break it down. Okay, so let's break it down for real, man. Let's get into this thing, man. So pretty much what people don't understand is when a company goes public, that's pretty much they're giving out ownership to anybody who wants to buy a share of it, right?
Right,
So let's say Apple is a public company. You can buy a share of it on any of the Robinhood, any of the
right,
exchanges, right? You can buy a share of it. You're an owner of that stock at
You're a
that point.
shareholder.
You
right,
own one share.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Um, So you can own that forever, right? You could own that share forever, you know, and it just goes up and down whatever the price is at that time. Now, a stock option is you don't actually own the shares, you own the option to buy the shares. It's going to sound like a little bit, you know, hard to understand, but you have the option to buy 100 shares at whatever price that you set it for. So you don't actually own the shares, you own the option to buy those shares at whatever price that you you set your strike price at. So that's, you know, that's a lower level way to look at it. I don't know if that explains it fully, but that's the best way I can get it on a basic level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
When you say when you own the rights to purchase this stock, we're saying 100, like each contract reflects 100 shares of that stock. So like let's say GameStop, when you're let's say you do a call, you're expecting the stock price to go up. A put, you're expecting it to go down. So like if I'm saying that GameStop is going to go up, I'm going to purchase a call option, which is going to give me the right to purchase 100 shares of this stock. And let's say that like I'm predicting that the stock's going to go up to like $50. You know, once it hits that, and my contract is in the money, I have the option to exercise that contract, and I can buy 100 shares of GameStop at that price.
Yep.
You know, but you could also do the opposite too. Like let's say you're expecting GameStop to go down. I'm going to buy a put. I'm going to buy the right to buy 100 shares of this stock, GameStop, at, you know, $21. You know, so if the stock now drops to $21, I made money on the fact that it went down, you know, from the option play. But now when it hits $21 and my contract is now in the money, I now have to exercise that contract and purchase those 100 shares at the $21. Now, beneficial because like that's a good price that you wouldn't want to acquire that, right? So, that's the difference in options and stuff like that. There's still a lot more to it, a lot more technicality and whatnot. But yes, when you're purchasing options, you don't own the shares. You know, you just own the
rights to buy the share at that given price.
So let's I'll even give it a little bit further. So like let's say a stock is, I want to make it simple numbers. Let's say a stock is at $10, right? And you say I want to buy the option to buy it at $20, right? You have an option, so you have the option to buy 100 shares at $20, right? Now let's say the stock runs to $30, right? I have the option to buy it at 20 though, so now I can get 100 shares at $20. So that's what, 2,000, right? That's like $2,000. But as soon as I buy it, the stock's already worth $30. So I've already made $1,000 between that range, right? It's, you know, my 2,000 is already worth 3,000, right? So that's what, if you exercise the contract. Now, what a lot of people do with stock options is they never actually exercise it.
Correct.
But when the stock goes in the direction that you want it to, it doesn't even have to get to that point. If you got a call for it to go up and it goes up, the amount that your contract is worth is just worth more. Right. So that same contract that you had, that same option contract that you had, is worth more than when you bought it. You know what I mean? So that's what a lot of people do, is like buy an options contract and don't ever want to exercise it. They just want to resell that contract for more than they bought it for.
Because now
it's
worth more. Because you bought at 20, now it's worth 30. So you earn the money because you profit from that. Because the reason why I feel like a lot of people love options, because you can make a lot of money faster than just by owning the stock, right? But at the same time, you can lose a lot of money if the option doesn't go according to your predictions too.
Because it can actually go to zero. That's the piece. That's the difference.
And then you lose that principal amount, right? Let's say if you buy that option like $1,000 for that contract, if it goes to zero, you lose that principal amount. You don't lose anything else than that. Just that amount that you pay for that contract. That's what you're losing. So it's kind of like fixed, right? So if you're comfortable with losing that amount, that's what you're going to lose. You're not going to lose extra because you just pay that specific price to own that contract. I mean, there are pros and cons of options. For me, like, you know, like I say, I believe in just owning the stock, right? Because like I say, option is more of like a prediction for me. I
Yeah.
look at it as like a form of gambling because you can't really predict how the price is gonna run.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I just try to like stay away and just little amount and just whenever I'm feeling risky and naughty, I put my little money in the option. But over time, it like sound like just buying the stocks and holding on to it.
Well, on the contrary, though, I think even though it is a prediction, right? I still do think there's like a lot of technical analysis,
Correct.
and we all know that the market always repeats itself, right? You know,
Right.
oftentimes when you do your due diligence and you do your research and you're looking at the health of a company, you look at their history, right? You know, like how they've trended, stuff like that. And when you look at things like technical analysis and things that like, you know, Ramond getting into recently is like looking at patterns and like, you know,
Right.
like bearish patterns and stuff like that. When you start getting into all the technical analysis of it, it does become more predictable. Like
Right.
it's not, you're not always going to bat 100%, of
Right.
course, you know, but you can use things to your benefit, and when you have that knowledge to make your best educated guess that like, okay, I know that Amazon is probably going to go up around this time because of Prime,
Right.
those types of things. Just, you know, there's certain things, certain events and
Right.
whatnot that trigger certain movements to the upside and to the downside with particular stocks and stuff. So I think it's not always going to be, like I said, you're not always going to buy it 100%, but it does make it more predictable. And,
Right.
you know, I guess more opportunity to make money.
Right.
But I think this is a good segue into, you know, Roaring Kitty. You know, I think a lot of people think about. So this man, shout out to Roaring Kitty, man, because I just also just want to say it's this man has some balls on him.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
boy
For real.
balls on him, and it's crazy to think that a man who flipped 53 or $54,000 into now being worth, right now, he's, because the stock has dropped a little bit, he's probably worth around 300 million right now. But when it was at like, you know, 34, $35, he was worth like half
Right.
a billy. And if the stock would have held at like, you know, $65, he'd be a billionaire, you know, kind of thing. But the fact that he's still holding is what's the crazy piece. Oh, he shared his position, right?
Right. He did. I watched his
He has
YouTube.
5 million shares of GameStop, and he owns 120,000 call options of GameStop.
Right.
And for anyone who knows those numbers, that's absurd. That's an absurd amount of just bread that he has invested into this stock. And there's there's that thin line between genius and insanity, right? So I think
Right.
that presents the good question of like, is this man a genius or is he just crazy?
I mean, it's all for me to answer that question. Like, it all depends on the outcome, right? If he wins, he's a genius, right? If you lose it all, then you are insane. Because I feel like at the end of the day, that's how you determine that, right? 'Cause let's say if he does become a billionaire, right? You're like, God damn, he's turned 53K into $1 bill, right? $1 billion. But if you lost it all, you're like, damn, he's an idiot, right? He was worth 500K, bro. Why didn't you just get out of it? Because that was more than life changing money, bro. That was generational changing money. That's for
Yeah.
that type of amount. So you can you don't need to do anything. You can just take that money out and be done. But however, he still have conviction. I don't know what he knows that we don't know. He's
He
still
like
in there.
he likes
So
this. That's it.
yeah, so it would be like, is that greed then? Because at the end of the day, how much more do you want, bro? Like, is that greed? Because 500 mil, bro, can change your life, can change everyone around you. Why you still there?
Yeah.
Knowing that this stock could potentially drop, right? But like I said, maybe there's something that he knows that I don't know. We don't know. So that's
Yeah.
why he's still in there. And you don't, we're not going to find out if that insanity or if he's a genius until like the end results. That's what
Yeah.
I would say.
I honestly, I gotta go with because I feel you on that, right? Like the only difference that people say is like he's insane or he's a genius is the results most of the time, right? But if I gotta be honest, I got I had a similar conversation this weekend. If I gotta be honest, I I think it's some pride and some ego in the decision too, right?
Right.
Like he's against big money, and he
Right.
wants to see them lose
Right.
almost more than he cares about winning, is what it feels like.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think he's a genius in the fact that he was able to build a community around what he was
Exactly.
doing that was able to help him, I don't, maybe it's manipulation a little bit, but people, they've been manipulating the stock market for years when
Right.
people get in. So it's kind of
Right.
like, he doesn't really have control, but people
Right.
follow him enough to be like, if he's in it, I'm in
Yeah.
it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think he's smart enough to know that.
Yeah. And
Now, the insane part to me is like, if you were sane, right? If you were fully sane, then you'd
Right.
have to think about what you just said. I have
Right.
enough money to
That's what
change the rest of my family's
right.
life forever,
yeah.
Right.
forever, with no more risk. I can take it all out, and I can do whatever I want to do. My kids
Right.
can live off of the move I've already
Yeah.
made.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I honestly think if you think about it like that would be technically the sane move to do,
Yeah.
Right.
right? Like, you know what I mean? So I think it's something beyond just just genius. I think that much conviction in any one stock, almost anybody would say that's
Right.
not the move, right? Most people say like index funds is a better,
Right. Right.
way to go when you have like a bucket of stock. So
Right.
in that 5 million shares in any one stock, I don't know what the rest of his portfolio looks like,
Right.
but in my mind, I'm thinking it's probably mainly GameStop.
Right.
Right?
Well,
So 5
that's
million shares of
right.
GameStop alone, I can't say that's just sane or just genius. I think it's something beyond it, man. I think it's a little bit of ego. I think it's a
Yeah.
little bit of pride around his, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, that's
Yeah.
that's tough for me.
It's hard because I mean, the people said the same thing in the beginning, right? Like, why are you investing 53K, right? So
Hmm.
people like you are insane. Like when he was still
Hmm.
athlete, it's hard to tell, right? Because at the end of the day, he's kept that conviction. That's the conviction that made him that much money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if he would have listened to people, he wouldn't have been able to. He wouldn't have
No way.
have that such a amount, right? So at the end of the day, that's kind of like it's like I don't know. Maybe he has an exit strategy. Maybe it's gonna be like, all right, if this go down to like 2 mil, I'm
Yeah.
out. 200 mil, I'm out. So maybe he has an exit strategy, right? For my thing, the only way I can say is like he's insane unless I see that full outcome of it,
Yeah.
right? If it goes down to zero out of there, he was dumb,
Yeah.
But if he has an exit strategy, bro, like even like 150 mil, that's still life changing. Oh yeah, you could have been worth 500 mil, but now you're worth 150 mil.
Yeah.
That's still fine, So
Yeah.
for me, like I said, it's gonna be on the outcome of what happens.
Yeah.
Cause bro, like to have that conviction to go to that amount from 53K,
That's
you have
insane.
From
everyone said,
50K,
yeah,
bro, to now being worth like 400 million, bro, is wild. And granted, I think it takes a little bit of craziness in anybody to have that much conviction and that belief in yourself to just say fuck what everybody else says, and
right,
I'm just going out until the wheels fall off.
right,
I think that does take a level of crazy to it, right? Because we're here manifest Mondays, right? We're manifesting something that doesn't exist yet. So that is crazy,
All right.
right?
right,
You're literally believing in something that no one else can see and that isn't
right,
tangible yet. When he invested $53,000 of it originally into GameStop, anyone logically would have told him he was fucking crazy, bro. Like
right,
Game terrible company, right? Like
right,
is like, but he was like, nah, like I think the stock is worth way more, like than I see the value in it, and I think it's extremely undervalued. And if he had listened to everybody else, he wouldn't be here in this position. Now, granted, I do think there are a lot of other moving pieces to it. And to P's point, I think there is ego and pride into it because I know he does want to stick it to big money because
right,
big money. I mean, they even manipulate the stock till to this day.
right,
Like they're still halting GameStop and AMC and all these other stocks that like they're still halting it like whenever there is major movement in it. So like they're still manipulating
right,
will because that's what big money has a ability to do, and that's exactly why he's doing it. But I also do think that there's a lot of responsibility on his end too because he's built up this community too. I think that's also something that he takes into consideration because he is such a major whale in it now.
right,
If you were to let's say logically speaking, like just realistically, if you were to take everything right now, the entire community behind him would suffer
Right.
suffer immensely because he removed his entire position,
Right.
and now stock is going to plummet. Like kind
For
of.
Right.
sure.
So I think that's also something that he takes into consideration too, is just understanding that like, yeah, I'm sure he probably has his own exit strategy, but like
Right.
he has to be mindful of, because he created this community that has supported him through thick and thin. He can't just leave them hanging
Right.
either. So I also something that he takes into consideration as well, because yeah, let's just any of us, right, would just take our fucking $400 million and be
Right.
like, y'all got to figure it out, kind of thing. But how many people would be left there like just like with an empty bag, just like, bro, like
Right.
we with you through everything, and you just left us, and it's just like you didn't even give us a warning. Like, could you have like told us that like like you were about to get out so we could get out, kind of things. I think there's that he also takes that into consideration too, which I think is also a tip
Right.
I had to him as well, because he hasn't been just about himself. Because if
Right.
he was just about himself, he would have been
Right.
out already.
Yep.
So
Good
I
point.
also think that is something to take into consideration too, and that is something to admire about him, is the
Right.
fact he didn't just capitalize off of this community. He's
Right.
rocking with everybody because everybody's rocking with him, and so I think that's also something. I think that's a huge piece that people are missing. It's just like
Right.
he built this community, he established it, but he's not abandoning it either.
Right. And my thing
Yeah.
is that's true, but however, he didn't have to do that because he was like, after the pandemic, he was gone for 4 years, right? No one was talking about him, so he have nothing to prove to come online on YouTube
Yeah.
to show his position because no one knew how much he had, right?
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
had nothing to prove. And for me, the fact that he came back, that was like, maybe it's something bigger that
Yeah.
this dude has seen, because bro, it's like, I want the money. No one knew it, like, because I didn't know how much he won, right?
Yeah.
Like, at that time, like, I knew he made a couple mil, but I didn't know that amount. But the fact that he came back and he was transparent with everyone, like, this is how much I currently have in GameStop. These are the call options that I'm currently in. He didn't have to do that. And the fact that he's being transparent right now, like I said, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, I don't know, because he had nothing to prove, bro. Like,
Yeah.
nothing. Just sit there and go retire. No one know about it. People have pretty much forgotten about him because he wasn't doing anything online again.
Yeah.
So, and he came back recently. So that
Yeah.
just shows that.
That's a good point, because it was. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a long time to sit there kind of
Right.
quietly.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Nobody knows. I wouldn't have known if he took his money out.
Right. No
You
one
know what I mean?
knew.
I wouldn't have known. I would know how much, in my mind, I thought maybe, I had no idea he had that much money in it,
Right.
right? I thought
Right.
maybe 15 M's or, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? 20 M's realistically. And if he took it out, the stock would probably move like a couple, you know what I'm saying? Probably
Right.
like maybe $5, $10, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Realistically.
Right. Right.
But 200 million is a whole different thing. So I have a follow-up question for y'all. If he does take the money out, right, does he immediately go from superhero to supervillain?
I
I was,
depends on how he does it.
yeah,
I,
I would say so.
now, if he doesn't tell anybody and just does it, then yes, because I think a lot of people will be left there holding a bag, and they're gonna be empty-handed. Like that bag will be empty, is what I'm saying. And so, like, I think I could see that entire community turning on him, because it's just like, bro, like, why didn't, like, what's crazy is how much power he has,
Right.
right? He showed it. Like, he disappeared for years, right? He came back and tweeted one thing. He tweeted the reverse Uno card. That's all he did, bro. And this whole thing started all over again, just like it did 4 years ago. No other person has that power. The only one that, like, except maybe like the when you talk about like the top 1%,
Right.
those are only the major whales, like, like, and we're talking about like entities at that point, like we're
Right.
talking entire companies, but like, I don't know if one single person holds that same power to just be like, I can tweet one thing and move an entire stock and market,
Right.
because of that,
Right.
So yeah.
That's true, because I would say too, because I've been following like GameStop for a while. I've been like following their page. I think even way before Roy Katie got back, right? There are a lot of people, bro, who still believe in the stock.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people, even way before, like even like Roy Katie got back in GameStop and all the the price movement. There are people who like conviction who still believe in the stock. And a couple of years ago, it did GameStop had to run up again. I think it run up to like $50 again. So it's
Yeah.
always going up and coming back down. And there are a lot of people who even like believe in the stock, who have conviction that the price is gonna go
Yeah.
up again. Because I be looking at research. People keep talking about it, and they have like some really sound research, bro. I be going through everything like this actually kind of makes sense,
Yeah.
if you look at it. But like you said, man, people are gonna like be upset. That's kind of like I'm having a hard time. Like, bro, invest for yourself. Don't invest because someone else is in there investing your money. It's your money. So if I'm doing whatever with my money,
They
it's
would
supposed
pull
to
it
be.
on him. You know
Yeah,
they would put. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he told them I'm gonna get out next week, everybody's gonna try to get out before he
right,
does.
Yeah.
right,
So that's
right.
like
So
it's not like a fair
right.
exchange. You know what I'm saying?
And I think it's absurd, right? To like, oh, I'm gonna be mad at him because he took his money out. It's your investment. Do
Yeah.
your like make your own financial decision. You
Yeah.
shouldn't be influenced by someone else. I don't know, man. Like I said, bro, it's one of those things. I say, because I've been in that stock for a minute, right? Like I made some money. I'm still in. Like I think I have like 72 shares of GameStop. Like I do believe that it's gonna go up at one point. And at the end of the day, the worst happened. I'm just gonna hold on to it. Like I said, it's not options. It's stock. I can just hold on
Yeah.
to it. Like I said, if I acquired loss, I'm just gonna like claim that during my tax return
Yeah.
again. So.
Facts.
So I'm in there because I was like, man, what's the worst gonna happen, right? If the worst
Yeah.
happen, I lose 3K.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. That's the worst happen. Worst case scenario, I lose 3K. Best
Mhm.
case scenario, I could make a lot from this amount.
Mm-hmm.
So for me being sale, like what, I'm just gonna stay in there
Yeah.
because I know it's a lot of risk associated with that. So
Yeah.
I'm okay with losing that amount, right? I know
Mhm.
it's not guaranteed, but just seeing how the stocks over the couple of years been performing, I just like, I'm just gonna keep it in there and not do anything about it.
And I mean, I think we can all agree this is an anomaly, right? This isn't like a regular thing, right? Games
Right,
a completely just thing of its own. And so we're not saying, once again, we're not financial
right,
advisors. So don't
For
don't
sure
ever,
not. Yeah.
like look at us for that type of advice and stuff. But I think it's just truly something to just commend, like what has been established over the last 5-6 years, like what he's accomplished. And clearly we know we know he's insane,
right.
like
Oh yeah, you have to be.
because you have to be, right? Like we talk about it all the time. That is the separating factor between genius and insanity. It's success, right? And results. Like if he had invested that 53K and it went to zero, they'd just be like, yeah, that motherfucker was like insane.
You're dumb, right?
But
You're
Yeah.
dumb.
And he just kept putting money in there every year, like another 53K every year. Just his whole salary. People would be like, "Yo,
you are,
you're wild, bro. Like you,
Yeah,
but I mean, to
you're
probably is a little nuts, like that's the only reason why he would be here.
you have to be.
And so that leads me to my next question is I think none of us have like that kind of like level of insanity or like like to us. So how long would you have held? Like let's say you had same position, right? You had invested 53K. What amount, like
Damn.
how long would you have held till? Do you think realistic?
So let's say I'll start, man, 53K. If I could turn that into at least 200K, I would have pulled out, to be honest. Yeah, 200K, I would have pulled out.
Would have put all of it
I
out.
would say like probably like take 150K and just leave the 50K in there. Like yeah, definitely I'm gonna take like 150K profit for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
P.
yeah. Uh, it's about 57K. It's like no. Say nah. You almost hit it on the money, Diamond. I heard this thing that said like financially free is technically whatever your lifestyle is right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? What would it cost for you to do that for 5 years? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people never done the numbers on that, but you can just really look at your expenses and to live exactly like you are times that by whatever it would take to get 5 years. And for a lot of people, that's about 250K.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's about, that's 50K a year for 5 years. You know what I'm saying? That's a freedom number. That's where you could probably get out of there and and uh and pursue other things at that point. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'd have to say something. I would have to say right around that number, man.
Right.
And I'm I'm weird about GameStop because I don't see the thing that he sees in it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't see the undervalue. I don't understand like I know that so many games are moving to online. I don't know what GameStop does like that, like their real moat. Like I don't know
Right.
what the
Right.
thing that would hold them up long term is
Right.
besides being a meme stock. I just
Right.
don't. I don't. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know how much I would leave in there. I think now that I know how things can move, maybe I would try to leave like 50K worth in there.
Right.
But if I just woke up the next day and seen 50 to 250, I don't know if I would leave any in there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
Just facts. I just don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've
Right.
never seen that,
And
bro. If it was like slow over time and it got up to 250, I think that's a good number where I would start like trimming off. But if I
Right.
just woke up one day, like it had been sitting there for like 6 months and it wasn't doing anything, and then one day it just was 250K,
You
I don't
got
know,
like.
bro. I might be out of there.
yeah.
And then like maybe I'll buy back in if it dips, but
Right.
you know,
Right.
that's
Right.
hard to call it.
That's a good point, bro. You can't go wrong taking when it comes to taking
Yeah.
profits. You can never go wrong with that for
Because if you
sure.
a,
Win, right?
a thing that is still setting in for me with understanding like investing and stuff like that is profit that you never took profit on was never yours. So
Right.
like, you know, you never win or lose until you sell. So
Right.
if I sold at 250K and it went to 2.5 million, in my mind you could kind of be sick
Right.
because you'd be like, I
I
could
could
have
have
had that,
made
but
that
you
back.
never had it though.
Right. You never
You
had it.
never had it. You know what I mean? You
Right.
never had 250K or you never, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you for sure had
For
250K,
sure.
but you never had the 2.5. So you could be sick, but I'm
Right.
trying to get used to taking a little bit of the emotion about and be like, I took 200, I turned 50 to 250K. A lot of
Right.
times you can't do that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what
That's
I mean?
true.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to get a little more used to just being like okay with wins like that.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Move
that's
on,
good.
man. There's,
That's
you know,
good. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can put it somewhere else,
So
bro. You know what I'm saying?
that I did that last week with AMC. Like I said, I bought some call options, right? And I was up like $800, man. I was like, damn, man, I can still make
Yeah,
more. But I was like, I was just
yeah.
thinking about our conversation. I was like, you know what? I'm already up. I'm just gonna take some money out, and then guess what, bro? Within 2 hours, that shit dropped down to $400. All right, I'm out. I sold the option, so
You
I
know what I'm
made four
saying?
hundred bucks. Yeah, even though it's not 800, but I still made $400
Yeah,
just from that option, just having it for like 2 days.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like the old me would I kept that, you know what? But when it comes to like those plays, like you said, you can always back into it. I can always get back into it if I wanted to.
yeah.
But at least last week, I'm glad that I took some profit instead of just holding on to that option. Instead of it just not going down, right? So, like you said, that's a good point, boys. Always good. You can't go
Yeah.
wrong with taking profits for
I don't
sure.
like. I
Yeah.
think so. Like, if I were Roaring Kitty, right? You know, like, or in his position, like, I think about it like, if I believed in something enough to invest 53K in it, I probably want to see this thing go to the moon. Now, granted,
It went to the moon. It went to
if
everything.
But that
you know,
kind of would be the moon at that point. At that
Yeah.
point,
if in that same situation scenario, right? If I saw 50K flip into 250, I would be ecstatic first and foremost. Like I'd be geeked, you know, kind of thing.
Right.
But I don't think I would take all of it out though.
Right.
Like I just knowing me, I know I have a higher risk tolerance than most people, and I'm like a little to Marco's point earlier. Maybe it is a little bit of pride and ego. It's just like
Right.
nah, don't just ride it out, you know, kind of thing. And so I think realistically, if I had seen my 50K flipping to 250, I'd probably take out 200K.
Right.
I'd secure my profit for
Right.
sure. I'm
Now, right.
absolutely
Right.
securing my profit. Like
Right.
I've lost many times before to like not secure my profit,
Right.
but I leave that 50K in there just to see, you know, like where it goes. Because at that point,
Right.
I already made my money, right? You know, like I
Right.
quadrupled my money at that point. You know, I flipped 50K into 200K, and I still got another 50K that's just sitting in there.
Right.
Now, whether that 50K goes to zero or goes to, you know, the moon, goes to like millions,
Right.
I already made my money, you know, kind of thing. And I think
Right.
that's an important piece of securing your profit. And
Right.
so realistically, I don't think I would have sold it all. I would have probably just rolled it out because, you know, thinking about it from just that perspective, this community and stuff that you created and all that stuff, like there's a lot more moving pieces to it, right?
Right. No,
Realistically,
it's
I don't think I don't think I would have sold it
right.
all, you know, because I, I believed in this enough to first and foremost put 50 plus K into it. But secondly, I'm going to see it right out, you know, like I'm just, you know,
Right.
secure my
Yeah. No, It's true. And also, I would say for me personally, like based on like, my financial situation at this moment, right? If I was worth 10 mil, I wouldn't take my money out. I would have kept that 50K in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck it. I have way more than what I invested in right now, right?
Yeah.
If I was 10 mil, like I'm going to the mall. That
Mhm.
50K, I'm not taking profit, right? Because I know I'm worth a lot more. But for right now, I believe that 200K right now, if I take that money out and put that in the S&P 500, bro, I can make way more. Even though it's gonna be slow, but that's gonna change my life in the long term.
Mhm.
So with now, that's gonna be my decision. However, like I say, if I was worth 10 or 15 mil, no, I'm just gonna keep that 50K in there. I'm gonna see how far I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
But for now, I think it's the better financial decision based on my current financial status right now.
That's a fact.
I don't know. It's interesting because we haven't been in that position, so we can't
Right.
really say for sure what we would do. But I don't know, man. Like I said, if you believe in something enough, if you have enough conviction to see something through, I think that's what it takes to, like I said, to have that level of craziness
Right.
that Ron
Right.
Kitty. I don't have those kind of balls on me. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't still be in it sitting on 500 million right now. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't think I would have sold it all.
Right.
You know, if okay, realistically, like if we were to apply his situation to us right now, and we were worth like 400 million, I'm for sure at least securing 200 million.
Oh
Half,
yeah, for
half
sure.
of it,
Easy,
at least
yeah.
half of it is coming home
Oh
to
yeah.
me. That's boy,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
like at least, and then maybe just the rest.
Yeah.
$200 million, bro, is like that's enough money for like your next 5 generations, bro. Like
Yeah.
maybe even
You're
more,
good.
depending on how you go about spending it. And you talk about things like just being able to apply it in other places like the S&P 500.
Oh
There's
yeah.
so many other investments that we could do with it. That $200 million would just easily grow into something more, substantially. You could take that 200 million, invest 100 million of it,
Right.
and the other 100 million just, honestly, the type of person I am, out of that 200 million, I could probably live off of like 10 million for the rest of my life.
Right.
I'm talking about like the rest of my life.
Oh yeah, bro.
Like I could live off of 10 million for the rest of my life and just be chilling, bro. Like,
Easy.
so
Right.
And live a good life. Live a good life
A
too.
great life.
A great
not,
life.
not
Most people don't
great,
hit 10 M's in their
Right.
life.
bro. You can do a lot with 10 M's,
Yeah.
bro. You can do a lot with 10 M's. And to think that you still have another 190 M's
Right.
is just there, right?
Bro, let's just even remove the 190, right? Even like 10M right now, bro. If you invest like 5M in the S&P, bro, you set for life.
Man.
Yeah.
You don't even need to do anything. You're done. Like, like
You can live off
10% a year.
S&P, or you think about like a dividend stock that gives you 10% a year.
Right. You're
5
good.
M's is 500K a year.
Yeah.
That's your
Good.
that's your
That,
dividend.
that's your
You
interest.
Like
you good.
that's
Like
your dividend, bro. Like you created a salary of 500K a year off a dividend.
Yeah.
fact.
Like you
So,
know what I mean? That's
so
insane.
I think that brings up a good point. We talk about life-changing money and what that all looks like. What do you think is like y'all's figure to like, and I'm not just talking about financial freedom, like this amount, if you had this amount, you would never have to like make another dollar. Like you wouldn't even have to make another dollar. Like, of course, we would never be in that right where we would never stop, like our money would stop working for itself. But what would be the figure where it's just like, all right, if I had this amount, I know I would never have to work again, and I would never have to worry about making another dollar
For the rest of my life.
for the rest of your
Damn.
life.
That's I'm trying to do
I did the math
yeah.
before.
Bro.
Let me see. About to pull mine up.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Funny because P showed me his number. I'm pretty sure I know what it is, but
Bro, I would say for me, man, like good to have a cushion, a safety net. I would say 30 mil, bro. Yeah, I'll never have to work again, ever.
yeah,
I'm good. Ever. That's just like over. I think it's way too high, but I would say like 30 mil just gonna put me in that comfort. I mean, can you invest, or you don't have to invest? You just
no, I'm just saying, like, if you like whatever amount that you think you would have to never make another dollar, like realistically, like I said, like if you
Oh yeah, yeah. I would say like 30 mil, bro. Like 30 mil. Yeah, 30 mil for me for sure. I don't have to make anything. Yeah, 30 mil for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's my amount.
that word.
Cat Cass said 25. Yeah.
Anybody in here? Everybody in here. What's up, Kay?
What's up?
What's up, Kay?
Oh,
We asked.
what's up, Kay? I see you, girl. But yeah, Cass said 25 M's.
Yeah.
Okay.
30 for
Yeah,
me.
everybody
That's
post
good.
if you're still in here, man. What's the amount, the number that you never had to make another dollar and you'll be good with? You know what I'm saying? I did the numbers on mine, and I did like, I read this book and it was talking about your different numbers, right?
Right.
Everywhere from your basic necessities all the way up to your wildest dream numbers of like what it would cost to live for 20 years on that, right? So I did all these stages. Now, the craziest thing is like when you do something like that, you realize that the amount of money that it costs to do that is not as much as you think it is,
Right.
right? I'm talking about like, so when I was putting my craziest numbers together, I'm talking about 4 vacation homes, studio compound, private jet, pay off all my family's debt. I did these numbers on what it would cost monthly, yearly, and then up to like 20 years, right?
Right.
With everything I have now in my wildest stuff, with all my, you know what I'm saying, what it would break down to for 20 years at least, would be about 18 M's, right?
Right.
Like, you know, that's for me to live like for 20 years.
Right.
To never make another dollar, I might add a little bit to that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
because I think the way I am, I'm gonna be figuring out how to make that money make more money.
Right.
But if I just couldn't make another dollar, then I just add another 10. I add another 10 on there and I say I'm cool.
28.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, 28, 30 M's, pretty much the same number as you, bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I would say so.
But that's
What
my
about you?
wildest. That's like my wildest lifestyle too.
Right. Right.
Like that's like 2 levels up from, you know, 3 levels up from what I am now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I don't need a private jet for real, but you know, if I had it,
I'll give it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
if
that's
I had it,
true.
yeah. So 30 M's for me, bro.
Yeah. What about you, Z?
So hold on, I'm gonna break it down.
That's kind of cool to walk within the same ballpark. Cass said 25, 28, 30.
Yeah.
You'd like. Brady, what about you? In the comment, let me know, Brady, how much will be that amount that you don't have to work ever again, don't have to make any amount, a single dollar for the rest of your life.
Honestly, I think my number would be lower. I think my number would be like 10 million.
10?
10, bro. Because I honestly, a lot of people don't even make 10 M's in their lifetime, bro. You know, so like I'm realistically looking at it like my lifestyle wouldn't change a lot. The only thing that I would do is I would just travel more, you know, but like I when it comes to like budgeting and stuff like that, like when it comes to traveling,
Come on, 10 now?
travel and stuff.
That is funny. 10, bro. Just a little a 10 piece, bro.
I'm saying if I like I could make 10 M's work for the rest of my life though, is what I'm saying. Like
Right.
Is that like the so was the
you're not
question
making any more
question
money.
like your lowest number you could make it do?
that's what I'm saying. Like what's
Oh,
the
see,
minimum?
that's a different question.
I'm saying what's the minimum? I'm not like
No, it wasn't a minimum. It was like how much, like
Yeah,
the
you
minimum.
said how much would you want to have like to never work again?
To never work
Yeah.
again, not the minimum. Yeah,
Not the minimum
Okay.
number.
Yeah,
If the
that's
minimum is a different number.
Okay. Minimum's different. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if we're saying like what amount would I like to have like liquid in my bank account to never work again?
Yeah.
That number would probably be like 40, 50 million. Yeah.
Because I was like 10. Yeah.
I'd say probably like, yeah, probably like, all right, hold on, let me break this down.
But even 10 is still, 10 is still perfect,
Yeah.
right? But for me, I just feel like with inflation, a lot of things, even like a mill right now, because think about Colorado, right? Houses like are now like to get a decent average house is like 700K, bro. Just like a house. So imagine like 6, 7, 8 years from now, you know, like, so for me with inflation and all that.
Your home is going to appreciate though.
Yeah,
like,
but you get a crib now. If you got the money now,
right,
then you could get the crib now and it would appreciate too. So
appreciate
and you wouldn't have to worry about it.
Right,
You
but
know.
just other things, bro, you know.
The only thing you're paying on it is property taxes at that point.
I want to get a bigger crib, bro, in the next 5, 10 years.
All I'm saying,
but that gets out of the minimum though.
Yeah.
That gets out of the minimum. You know what I'm saying?
What I meant was like 10 million is my minimum. Like that's my deal number, but that is my minimum. Like I could live for the rest of my life.
Someone said 10 million would be great in Africa. Facts.
Yeah.
That's another
Shout out to K. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
facts.
Like I was just in Brazil, bro, like a month ago. Brazil, their currency, like our currency is worth 5 times more than theirs. So that 10 M's becomes 50 M's out there,
Right.
So like my thing is like I wouldn't just be like I'd probably have a house here. I wouldn't probably have like multiple homes, like too many homes
Yeah,
here.
you'll be too broke. We gonna be having multiple homes.
If 10 M is too 10 M's is too broke, then I'm like, all right, I'm hanging around the right group of
Compared
people.
to me and Ramond, bro, we gonna have 30 M.
you
All
know,
right, then be like, all right, everything's on y'all. We going on
my
vacation.
dumb ass still gonna be frugal, bro, looking for deals and shit. You
No,
know
I
what
will,
I'm
but I'll be mad at Z. I'm just gonna make sure that I'm just gonna pick an expensive spot so he can spend a little bit more. I like, bro, you have the
saying?
options, and you settle for 10 mil.
Yeah, like Z, you're not, your house is nice, but I'm going to Diamonds.
That was my minimum number. Damn. I,
You
I,
just do the
I'm,
idea
I know
shit.
I'd be penny pinching everything. I ain't gonna lie. Even sitting on 10 M's, bro. I'd be like, bro, I ain't got it. Like I, I,
Yeah.
I'd be looking at DG like, can you let me hold some, bro? Like,
Nah,
you,
you had options. You settle for
said
10.
let me hold.
you had the same opportunity as me, bro.
We
But
picked 30. I'm mad that I picked 30,
realistically
but you
though, like
picked
we're
10.
talking my ideal number would probably be 40 million.
40 is dope, bro. Like 40, like I don't
40's
have to
fine.
work again ever. I feel
Yeah.
like 40 can live anywhere. I feel like you can like take care of your family. Yeah, because I believe because for me it's not just all about me, right? Because I want to make sure I can help everyone around me, and I feel like 10 mil is I can do a lot with 10 mil, but for like the rest of my life, I don't ever have to make any income to like have an impact on the people around me and things I want to do. I don't think if I have the opportunity, that's why I'm going to go a little bit higher than 10 for sure.
Yeah. And that's a hard question too, just to add back to it, because I think my regular financial freedom number was about 10 too.
Right, right,
For 20 years it was like I did the exact number. It's like 2.8 M's for
right,
20. I
right,
think about 20 times 3. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So it's about the same.
Yeah.
10. But that question's hard because when you start realizing how money works,
right,
there's no way you'd want to have that money, that amount of money, and not let that money be working for more money
right,
for you. So it's a
right.
hard question, right? It's a hard question because it's like to never have to work, make another dollar.
Ever.
But that's only part of the question because it's like you won't have to, but you'd want your money to be making money
Right,
for you. You feel me?
right,
So it's like with the 10 M's, you
Yeah.
could take 2 M's, like you said, 10% a year, and that's
right.
200K a year. Just
Facts.
probably live off that good. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Two
but I think as
And that's with like not like you don't have any expenses at that point except maybe like property taxes, maybe like travel and stuff like that. But like you don't have like I mean you got bills and stuff like like electricity and stuff like that. But I mean 200K a year, bro, off like and just being able to do whatever you want with it. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's
so,
true, but
Now we know DG's bougie. So
nah,
DG,
you too bougie for you said 10,
we know
10, bro.
no, bro. It's like you have the option to like, why would I just pick 10? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, why would I settle for 10 when I can do
yeah.
more? So for me,
We
it's
know
like,
we know what your bougie
especially with, if
Wait,
what's up,
so
Kay?
what's up, guys?
what's up?
What's going
I
on?
don't want to interrupt.
No, you're
I know
good.
you
No,
You're
good.
no.
good.
So,
You're good.
okay, where are we getting this money from first?
From the
And
bank.
why are we settling for 10 million? If there's an option, why don't you say 100 mil? I want
Nah.
100 million. What you mean?
See, I like
That's what.
that.
It's
There
not
you go.
settling. I just said that was the minimum number.
Uh,
I'm saying minimum.
Nah.
you know how manifestation works. You gotta aim big.
Hey, he said, oh, 100 mil. Give me
I
100
feel that.
mil. Shit. God, I
All
agree.
right,
I'm mad that I
well,
picked
fuck off.
30.
Y'all just sitting on my $10 million. Goddamn.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Bro,
That's
Z10,
funny.
bro. We're gonna be like, hey Z, we're gonna have a yacht in Monaco party. Z gonna be like, nah, bro, I'm gonna take an
I
Uber,
can't make
private jet.
it.
Like,
Come
bro,
on, man.
can you
Come
get
on,
He
man.
gonna be.
book my flight, bro? Can you get me there? Like, I know you got a private jet.
Yeah,
Can you send Alfred to get me, bro? Like, what's
yeah,
up?
I know.
You should have asked for 100
Should
million.
ask for more, huh?
Yeah, definitely, bro. Like
See,
10,
Cause like
y'all just being greedy, man.
no, cause
Nah,
like
I
are we gonna be friends? Are we gonna be friends still? Like, cause we're gonna be in a different tax bracket. Cause when you like, and it's not even talking shit, but
facts.
like I feel like when I like to be around people like minded people, and it doesn't have to be like with money. So
uh-huh.
people that
Yeah, me
will help
too.
me like elevate. So I'm like, if I'm with this 10M ass nigga, all I'm gonna get is 10M vibes. I want 100 mil energy, so I'm gonna be around the other people that have more. You know what I mean?
Wait, hold up though. In my defense though, look, Ace worth like 10 M, but look at Riri. Riri's a billionaire. So I'm like, hold up. Like, look up
no,
Rocky's. Look up ASAP Rocky's net worth. He's worth like 10 million.
But he's
bro.
still making more. He can still
He's
make
still,
more.
Yeah, he can still
That's
make more, and he has social currency too. That's
Right.
another piece
Yeah.
too, right? Like,
all the
10
sponsorships.
mil ass nigga is wild. Too.
He did it to himself.
I can't hang with Brook boys. Can't hang with Brook boys.
No, 10
That's
million. That's too
insane.
little.
I said that was
Yeah.
the minimum. I didn't say that was the ideal number. I said
You
that was
changed it at the end, Z, bro.
Right.
You changed it.
I know, because you
You
said
know,
like 40 M's after, didn't you?
Well,
40 is good.
I think that's my ideal number. Number. But if we're talking about like bare minimum, and I never have to make another dollar, I could make 10 million work for the rest of my life.
All right, let's do. All right, let me. I'm gonna ask y'all a question for everybody on here, right? You could take. Since you said this, Kay, you could take 100 M's right now, but you could never make another dollar, or you could take 10 M's right now and do whatever. You could make money for the rest of your life. What y'all doing?
100 M.
I'm taking the 100.
The 100.
I'm taking the 100.
It's guaranteed.
Y'all
This is my point.
don't believe in yourselves.
No,
That's y'all problem, man.
No, it's not even that.
Right. Because for me, the 100 M is guaranteed, right? You know, we talked about earlier. When it comes to investment, it's not guaranteed. Yes,
For sure.
I could start my 10 M. I could invest in real estate. I could do this thing. I could lose it all. And that 10 M could be down to like 2 or 1. So it's not guaranteed. For that reason, 100 mil for me, like, I'm good forever. I don't need to make any more. I'm set. So that's kind of like why I would take that 100 M.
And to piggyback off of that, with 100 M's, bro, not only do I never have to make another dollar in my life, I could set up like my next couple of generations with that. Like,
but what if
because like
the 100? What if the 100 can't make no more money?
That's fine.
No, but what more do you need than 100 M's?
I'm not saying for you personally. We talking about like generations. You know what I mean?
They had it going, bro. They'll figure it out. If I
You know,
I left them 50 mil.
you know what I'm, you know,
I said,
can I say something?
y'all up with this bread, y'all figure it out. Be honest.
No, I would buy land, a big land, and I would make a farm, and I would move all my family there, and then that way, all those they will have like the crops from there, the animals, everything. So regardless if they get broke or not, they're gonna still have food because that's their land.
Have resources. I mean, think about it, bro. Like with that 100 M's, you could take 10 of those M's and buy so much land and property with that shit. They like they may not have bread, but they'd have assets at that point.
Right.
They gonna have. They'd have like homes and shit like that. They'd never be homeless.
Right.
Like that's their problem. Kind of thing. But with 100 M's, bro, like we're talking about 100 guaranteed. Like that's just a number that it's just like. I think a lot of people, I'm sure everybody can attest to that. We all stress the most over money, right?
Right.
And me.
Or
With 100,
lack of sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with
I'm taking 100 M's too. I was bullshitting.
I'm like,
bro, like,
you full of shit.
Hey, I'm gonna have my land right next to y'all. Why y'all my family right next, the Murphy family right next to the Willard family. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I see my cow on your land getting busy. You know what I'm saying?
I was bullshit. I'm gonna take the 100 mil.
I was bullshitting, man.
Guaranteed, like
that's guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
I had to play God's advocate real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. 100 M's guaranteed. Like you got to think like the peace of mind that would come with that, bro. Like of just like I would damn near never check my bank account again, bro.
Literally, like
what the fuck do I need? Like,
I
don't care. Like whatever it is that we're buying. Now we know
DG's bougie ass.
DG's bougie ass might be. DG might make some decisions where it's just like, bro, you might have should have second guessed.
Hey, my house gonna be 10 mil for sure. My house gonna be 10 mil.
See, like, that's absurd, bro.
Yeah, my house gonna be 10 mil. I'm gonna have everything in there.
10,
bro, I got one.
But a $10 million.
You got 100 mil forever.
You're right. 100 million. But you got to think, bro. Like a $10 million house. Can you think of like the property taxes on that bitch? And then like,
how much is that gonna be a year?
A
Well, it
lot.
depends on
Think.
where it is. If it's here, if
All
it's
right,
here in the U.S., if it's
yeah,
here
in
in the
Denver.
U.S.,
Let's say in Denver, right?
bro, like you're looking at probably at least probably like shit 600K a year.
Okay, how? Okay, let's say estimate. I'm gonna live like 50 more years, right? Do the math. 600K times 50. How much is that
Six.
gonna be?
All right,
Yeah.
hold up. Let's
50,
lowball
60
it. Let's
years.
say
Let's say 60.
500K
Yeah,
times 50.
500K times 60. Whatever. Give me
That's
whatever.
25 mil. That's
Yeah.
25 mil.
All right. To the rest of my life, I'm still good, bro. I lived the life that I want to live, and I'm still good, and still have leftovers for my
You
kids.
see what I'm saying? You see what
Yeah,
Cass
that's
said? You gonna spend my minimum on a house? I'm like, bro, like, what you buying a $10 million house for, bro?
I
What
you
are you
spending
know.
you
buying a
just
$10 million
you
house
gonna do
for?
that just because he took the 10 M's. That you
I'm
my house worth your
He's
whole
trying to
shit, bro.
flex.
just to shit on Z. I'm gonna get a $10 million house.
No, that's
That's
wild.
crazy.
I would honestly, I would move like if I had 100 mil, I would move not necessarily Africa, like, but somewhere where it
Yeah,
would be like cheaper to live, and
hell
then
yeah,
I would buy a fat ass crib. I
Oh
would
yeah,
literally
land.
have, I
Oh
would have
yeah,
everything in that house. I would have a theater, a pool, a
yeah.
sauna, literally everything. So I don't have to go to the movies. I don't have to go to the gym. I could
Facts.
just do everything at my house.
yeah.
Facts.
Facts,
I don't play basketball.
Yeah.
facts.
Oh, I'm gonna go
Get
outside
a
to my
hoop
hoop.
basketball court.
Tennis?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got a tennis court right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I would
Everything.
do.
Yeah.
Everything.
Same. Like I would have a
Yeah.
compound at that point. Like I have like a
Bro,
whole
you
ass
have 10
estate
mil.
at
You're
that
not gonna
point.
have a compound
I
at
would
10
never
mil.
have to leave my property.
You could even rent.
He said you only
You
got
could
10 mil,
rent.
bro. You ain't
No, imagine
Don't
buying
talk this
two.
talk.
Imagine on your land buying, having your property, and then you right next to it, you'll just have like a whole other community of people, and you just rent that shit out.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's like
yeah.
money forever.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm telling
Eh,
you, I would own like 20 acres of
Wait.
land, and
Oh,
I'd
what?
probably
10
rent.
mil?
Shut your ass up.
Not with 10 mil,
Shut your ass up, DG.
maybe like 1 acre.
1 acre. That's
See,
crazy.
You
You
know,
in the
y'all being
state,
some haters,
and you
man.
want to
Y'all
move
y'all
to
be.
Cali, bro. Bro, the average home price in Cali is like a mil. You want to move to Cali talking about 10 mil. The average home
I wouldn't
price
live in Cali, bro. I wouldn't
okay.
live in Cali. I
New
definitely
York,
wouldn't be in Cali.
penthouse in New
Where do
York,
you
bro. It's
guys
like,
Where do you guys
I'd
live
be
now?
I'd be in Texas.
Where do you guys live? I know Diamond lives in Colorado. Where do you guys live?
yeah.
I'm in Brooklyn. I'm in New York.
Okay. What about
yeah,
you?
I'm in Phoenix right now. Where
Okay.
you at?
Colorado.
Uh,
He's in Colorado.
Okay. Yeah, that's home base for all of us, man. We
yeah.
all from there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to escape though. I'm trying to get out of this freaking box. I've been here
Man,
for
I feel
14
that.
years. It's enough. I feel like my life is stagnant now because I'm
Maxed
not like venturing
out.
out, and like
Yeah.
I already done everything, seen everything here. So it's like I just want to have new experiences,
Yeah.
meet new
Yeah.
people.
I think that's the same
I
with
think
me
it's I think
and
it's
Z. We wanted to just start
yeah.
over. That's part of the
Yeah.
reason why we just
But
left. You know what I'm saying?
New
Start over,
York,
man. Just be, you know what I mean?
I live in
but I guess you guys you
Colombia.
guys are
Cats is
you guys are
hilarious.
you're artists, so I guess that would make sense to go somewhere like that. Because I could not live in a place like California or New York, honestly. It's too busy. Like even Colorado is getting busy now for me, for my
Yeah.
liking.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it depends on where. Like, you could live upstate New York. Upstate is gorgeous, first and foremost, and
Mm.
it's like
Is it
you still have
cheaper?
access to the city. You still have access to the city if you need to go to the city, But like, you don't have to. You don't have to be in the mix like that, though. Like, like I think.
But wouldn't that be expensive though?
I mean, it is. Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
anywhere in New York is going to be expensive,
So yeah,
but
that's another reason. No.
with 100 M's though, yeah, that don't matter. that
we
don't
ain't we
matter.
ain't got we ain't got the 100
We ain't
M's
got
yet.
the
No,
100 M's yet, though.
it's coming, guys. It's
It's
coming.
It's
Like,
it's
coming
don't
though.
coming.
worry.
It's
It's
coming. You're
coming,
right.
man.
We manifesting all of that.
so
That's
We
facts.
believe over here.
so
That's
my
facts.
question is like, will you, let's say if you have 100 M right now, though, right? Will you like live in the states, or are you gonna move out of the state?
Both.
Like
Oh,
you got Z or Ramond.
Both of them.
Both.
I'm moving.
Both of them, bro.
Both.
Right.
Adios,
I know you
America.
said
Thank you
10
for
M's
the.
on 10 M's on one spot. I was thinking I'm gonna spend 10 M's, but I'm gonna probably go on 5 spots.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
My dream is to have like 4 cribs, you know what I'm saying, in
Right.
different countries.
Mm,
So I'm gonna probably
Right.
do two M's on, 2 M's
Right.
there, 2 M's there, and then have the player one where it's the least expensive. You know
mm.
what I'm
Right.
saying? So 3 M's where it's the least expensive and get a player ass
Yeah,
spot there. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
yeah,
yeah,
Right.
I don't
that's how I'm coming.
know. For me personally, like I'm really grateful for America and like all the opportunities that it's given me, but
Fact.
it it's definitely way too toxic for my liking. And just because I have children, if I had money, I would leave.
Right.
Like I just want to leave, and like I want to raise my kids the way I want to raise them. I don't want them to be
Right.
like just influenced by like school, teachers, media, like anything, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Where would you go?
Like the world is my oyster with 100 M's. I could go to
That's a fact.
Thailand. Like
Mhm.
I could literally live anywhere. South Africa, like Dubai. I could live. You don't pay taxes in Dubai. So if I buy a fat ass crib in Dubai, I'm not gonna be paying taxes out there. So,
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah,
Facts.
Dubai.
Yeah.
but money is literally the answer to everything. I swear. They say money don't make you happy, but it answers a lot of
Yeah.
Yeah.
it answers a lot
Absolutely.
of things. Yeah.
It honestly, like, money would solve 99% of my problems right now. Like literally
Facts.
99%. Like probably all of them. Let's be real. Like money would solve
Literally.
all of my problems right now. If you gifted me 100 M's, bro, like right now, my life, like what would I be complaining about, bro? I'd
No.
be.
Even if you gifted me 10 M's, I
You
would
see
still
what I'm
move.
saying? Y'all over here hating on my 10 M's. I'm
I
like, bro,
would be
if I had
like,
10 M's right now, I'm chilling, bro.
no, because like you know, in like even I'll give you an example of Ethiopia because I know more of their currency. Like if to $1, its exchange rate is 120 birr. So imagine if I'm
Hmm.
taking $10 million to Ethiopia, I'm gonna be freaking the queen of Ethiopia at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Yeah.
And shout out to Cass. He quoted, of course, yay, having money's not everything, not having it is. Exactly. Like the
Mm.
thing is, like, I'd much
Shout out to
rather,
Ethiopia, by the way.
shout out to
Hey,
Ethiopia. Yeah,
shout
Shout out to Ethiopia
shout
for
out to
sure.
Africa,
shout out to
Come on,
Africa.
shout out to the
Africa,
Africa.
man.
Shout out
yeah,
to the
Yes,
motherland,
shout out to
man.
the
yes.
motherland, man. But yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, I'd much anyone whoever says that they don't want to is a liar. I'd much rather be rich and wealthy than broke any day. I don't
Right.
care what nobody says.
Yeah,
Right.
Like I'm
facts.
like you can still like I think a lot of people say like think that like there is a lot of greed that comes along with it, which there does, but like at the end
Mm,
of the day, like I just know the type of person that I am, regardless of how much money that I have. I'm
yeah.
not gonna change like the
Right.
core of who I am. Like that's never gonna
Mm,
change. So I
Right.
don't care. Like me having $10,000 in the bank or $100 million in the bank, I'm gonna still be the same person.
Right.
Like
yeah.
regardless. But why would I rather have $10,000 in the bank than 100 million? Like
Right.
I know,
let's be
like,
real.
come on.
Right.
I
Let's
don't know.
be real.
I feel like I'm a good, solid individual, but I'm gonna get a little more comfortable with 100
You're
million,
right.
man. Like
You're
if
right.
I pull up to the airport with my private jet and they tell me I can't park here, yeah, I
Yes,
can. You know what I'm saying?
no, definitely. I'm gonna be
Yeah, I
I'm gonna have a
can. You know
hated
what I mean?
asshole. No, I'm gonna be an asshole. Like,
I'd
and it's
be
gonna be
like
an
a cool
asshole,
one. I'd be a cool asshole. Like, nah,
but
like
to people
I
who
could park
deserve
there.
it.
I could park there. Yeah, that's cool. That
Dagger
that y'all
Park,
good.
yeah.
Y'all good. You know what I'm
Boy, did any of y'all know P's double tap game? His double tap game would be crazy with 100 M's, bro. So I don't know if he's ever explained what the double tap is to y'all, but like he needs to explain this because his double tap game would be crazy with 100 M's, bro.
So basically, wherever I'm at, you know what I'm saying? It's all about just acting like you're supposed to be there, right? So my natural thing when I go
Mm.
places, I double tap somebody on the shoulder, like, "Excuse me, my man, I'm getting right behind you." Even if it's a long line at a club or whatever, I'm double tapping the security guard. "Excuse me, my man, I was just in here." You know what I mean? And they always like, "Oh yeah, yeah, you good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's
So,
actually it's us three
wait,
too. It's us three too, bro."
is that a theory? Like, so
It's not a
you
theory.
double?
It's kind of a fact. It's just
Yeah.
you just double
Right.
tap.
For
You just
sure.
it's
Yeah.
kind of it's the energy of you are where you're supposed to be. You know what I
It's
mean? And
like
it's kind of like people don't usually question it.
Right.
It's
okay.
only they out of probably like 120 times that I've done it. There's probably 5 times it didn't work. You know what I mean?
But
More times than not.
you probably have to have you have to be confident though. Like you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
just
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. There's
be
a lot of
walking
for
up
confidence
and
sure.
behind it.
That's
But
the
I'm saying his
that's the piece of it.
can you imagine his confidence though with the 100
Can you
M's though?
imagine
That's
my
what I'm
double
saying.
tap at that point?
bro,
Like, yeah, we closing down the airport. You know what I'm
bro,
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we good.
literally like
You know what I'm saying? Nah, we
Yeah.
you
good.
Like
work for
nothing is
you
out of
work for
reach.
me now.
Yeah,
Nothing
that
is out of reach
pretty
with that,
much,
bro.
yeah.
Nothing
Y'all
is out
good.
of reach with the. Okay, one more question before we get out of here. What's with the 100 M's? What's the pettiest thing you would do with it?
Damn.
The pettiest?
What's the pettiest thing you would do with it?
Damn.
Uh.
Everybody in the comments, y'all answer that too. The pettiest thing y'all do at 100 M's.
Ooh, that's a hard one, man. I don't know. 'Cause I feel like I wouldn't try to be petty on purpose. People might just take that
Yeah.
vibe from me because if you see my crib, the cars.
That's already petty enough. Me posting my
I get
Yeah.
it.
lifestyle.
I'm just like, I don't think I'll be going out of my way to be petty for
Cause
sure. It's
karma,
gonna be like,
yeah. Cause I believe in
yeah,
karma, and I wouldn't want to like, especially because
yeah.
I'm blessed.
Y'all
So why
lying,
not be
man. Y'all
bitter?
lie.
I
There's one
swear,
petty thing y'all would do. There is
no,
one
no.
petty thing y'all would
I
do.
promise.
Whether it be shitting on an ex or something, like there's one petty
Okay,
thing y'all would do at some
let's hear.
point.
I'll buy my man a Rolly. How about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of
That's
one right
petty.
now.
Or I would buy him like I would buy him
You said that's
my his
petty.
dream car or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, damn.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
flexing on my
I'm not a
ex.
naturally petty person, so it's hard for me too. It's hard.
Hmm.
You go
I'm
first,
like,
Z. You go first while we think
yeah,
about
for
it.
real. Cause you know what?
I'm not a petty person either, but I think
Uh-uh.
with the 100 M's though, with the 100 M's, like there might be like one petty bone that comes out of my body at that point, and it'd probably be something like, it wouldn't be like directed at anybody in particular. It would probably be
Mm,
like an instance where like I was out somewhere and somebody tried to like shit on me, whether that be like a staff or something like that.
mm,
And I just make a phone call and I'll be like, yeah, I own this company now. And the first thing that I'm doing is you
mm,
fired. Like, like type
mm.
shit. Like
Damn.
I'm your boss now. Like I own this motherfucking company and
Look
your
at
ass is
me.
out of
I'm
here.
the
So like,
captain now.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's pretty.
Damn.
That's a
so
player one.
I guess
I think
I
that
guess
probably be
that's
something.
cool.
Yeah, I think.
That's like a boss though. Like, it's not like petty. I feel like it's a boss.
Well, I mean, same difference. I mean, to them, they might think it's petty. Like,
They're
bro,
like,
like that was petty.
who he think he is?
But that would
Yeah.
definitely be some shit that I do.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I mean, I just have to have the money. Maybe if I have the money, then I would know what to do. But
You
right
know,
now,
I know. I feel like those emotions would come. They would come alive
Yeah.
because it's like feelings and emotions are so real. But it's like I don't have it now physically. But like
Yeah.
when I have it, like I don't know what feeling I'm gonna have. So it's
Yeah.
like by then I probably think of a million things.
damn,
I don't know.
I'm really trying to think. I'm thinking, to be honest. Like, what am I gonna? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good one, Z. I mean, it'd probably be to somebody that has like that be doing fucked up shit though. I don't know. It'd be to
Yeah.
somebody that really like if
Mm.
they doing fucked up shit in the world, then I might do something semi petty
Yeah.
to, you know what I'm
Like,
saying?
flex
To the
on them a
situation.
little
Fact.
bit.
You feel me?
Yeah.
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 Like if
Like,
Would you
they
guys?
got like if
I'm.
if I know they had like a Southwest card or something, you know what I'm saying? Maybe just buy Southwest or something. You know what I mean? They can't fly that no more. So I
sure,
don't know,
no
man.
fly.
Can I ask one question
Put them
before you
on a
guys
no
leave?
fly zone. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
Yeah,
So
sure. Go ahead.
would you guys rather, since we're talking about money, would you rather have all the money in the world, like you don't have to ever worry about money, or would you rather be famous and slowly make your money?
Oh,
That's easy.
money. Like, give me the money, bro. I
That's
don't.
easy.
I don't
Yeah,
care. I don't want to be famous.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
some people, no,
Give me the money.
some people they
Right.
want that, like they just want to be like in the spotlight.
Yeah,
So I
'cause
feel like some people would
yeah.
choose that route.
I got a
Right.
question for y'all.
I mean, because my thing
Would
is,
y'all?
with the
Go ahead. Go ahead.
with the money, you can be in the spotlight, right? Let's say if I worth 100 million, if I want to be in the spotlight in Denver, I can definitely be in the spotlight because I'll be
Or
front row seat on
or
every
mm.
Norgans game. So basically, now I'm able
Billboards,
like social media. Yeah, I'm
billboards. I've
lit.
had pictures of my
Billboard.
face on the buses and
Hey,
shit.
look, I'm gonna have like 5G working
That's
different
some petty
colors
shit
every
right there.
day.
Not
so,
the billboards.
so I'm definitely gonna be
Yeah,
like, yeah. But
that
no,
might be
I'll pick the money
my
though.
petty one. Actually, putting my face on the bus, and I'll never ride the bus. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I might take out like I might take out an ex or something like that, and like just like like just like invite her out to like lunch or something
Show,
like that, and do something like hella
mm.
extravagant, and then just be like, damn,
Hey,
yeah, like, well, it was
well,
nice
sir.
seeing you.
This
Just
this
like
this is what you missed out on, sweetie. You didn't
See,
want to wait.
that's it.
yeah.
That's it. You see what I'm saying? Like it was nice seeing you though. Like have a good life.
Yeah,
You know.
that's it.